So, this is Portal 2. We're just getting started here, but there's a 4-minute cutscene right to start. So, not a whole lot to worry about yet. Here, 1 second.
When you hear the buzzer, look up at the ceiling. Good. You will hear a buzzer. When you hear the buzzer, look down at the floor. Good. This completes the gymnastic portion of your mandatory physical and mental wellness exercise. There is a framed
Crimson's changed his painting to this. That's really funny, actually. I haven't seen that before.
You will hear a buzzer. When you hear the buzzer, stare at the art.
This is just the beginning part of the game. It's pretty much a big cutscene. There's not a whole lot of time you can gain or lose.
Reflect briefly on this classical music. Good. Now, please return to your bed.
The Crimson is just a little bit ahead, but that's probably all just due to starting earlier or later.
You have been in suspension for 9999999. This courtesy call.
Hello? Anyone in there? Ah! Oh God, you look good. Good actually. Are you okay?
I'm checking to see about the timer. Yes, that's a very good painting. I'm a big fan of that one.
Please prepare for emergency evacuation.
Stay calm. Stay calm. Prepare. It's all I'm saying. Prepare. It's all fine. All right. Don't move. I'm gonna get us out of here. Oh, you.
This part of the cutscene, there's a single jump, and that is the only input, or 2 jumps actually.
You all right down there? Can you hear me? Hello? Most test subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer, and it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage. But don't be alarmed, all right? Although if you do feel alarmed, try to hold on to that feeling, because
hopefully we can get Crimson to get his timer back on stream at some point. That would be nice.
What I'm saying at all? Does any of this make any sense? Just tell me. Just say yes.
Crimson is currently saying yes, and then saying apple.
But never mind. Say apple. Apple. Okay, you know what? That's
very nicely done.
Just hold tight.
And that's it. Now we have 2 more minutes of sitting here waiting for this cutscene to finish. So this race is very exciting for a couple of reasons, but the main one is this is the winners finals race. The last 2 people to have never lost a set so far in this tournament, Crimson and Msushi, playing to earn their spot in grand finals. Crimson, the favorite here in terms of his PB, with a 1 hour 48 second PB versus Msushi's 1 hour 1 minute and 41 seconds.
Why should I be kept informed? You know, about the life functions of the 10,000 bloody test subjects I'm supposed to be in charge of. Why? It's close. Can you see? Am I gonna make it through? Have I got enough space? Just gotta get through here. Okay, I just gotta concentrate. And whose fault do you think it's going to be when the management comes down here and finds 10,000 flipping vegetables?
Yes, this is a best of 1.
Right, no, I hit that one.
And grand finals is best of 3 with a bracket reset advantage to winner's side.
Listen, we should get our story straight.
So whoever wins this has to only win 1 set in grand finals in order to win.
If anyone asks, tell them as far as you know, the last time you checked, everyone looked pretty much alive. Alright? Not dead. Okay, almost there. On the other side of that wall,
So Crimson is fixing his timer.
There's a piece of equipment in there that we're going to need to get out of here. I think this is a docking station. Get ready. Good news, that is not a docking station. So there's one mystery solved. I'm going to attempt a manual override on this wall. Could get a bit technical. Hold on. Almost there. Remember, you're looking for a gun that makes holes, not bullet holes.
And we're just at the start of the run, finally, or the start of the actual run with the real fun stuff in it.
Good luck.
But first, I have another cutscene. This one is actually after the save we have for the community, though.
We are currently experiencing
This you do every
technical
single run.
difficulties due to circumstances of potentially apocalyptic significance beyond our control. However, thanks to emergency testing protocols,
Sushi going for the coveted toilet swoosh here. By getting the clipboard in the toilet, you gain 20 clout, which is very important for the rest of the speedrun.
Even in the event of environmental, social, economic, or structural collapse. The portal will open, and emergency testing will begin in 3.
Sushi getting ready to hop through the portal here. Doing what is known as bunny hopping. Pretty standard stuff for a source game in particular.
Even in a dire emergency.
Although Portal 2 bunny hopping is a little bit weird due to the fact that after 300 velocity, when your velocity is 300 units per second, then you just lose all your air control. You can pretty much only go in a straight line, which makes for some interesting things. Hello, Fat.
Hello, Pacer.
Good morning, even though it's afternoon for you.
Down your neck. Relax.
Yeah,
Lie on your
well,
back.
almost
Apply
7. It's
immediate pressure
basically
to your
right in the
temples.
middle of the day.
You are simply
Yeah.
experiencing a rare reaction in which
Fortunately,
the
I
execution drill may have
just woke up,
emancipated the ear
but
tubes inside your head.
I guess no matter what happens, having 2 tired commentators is generally better than having 1 tired commentator.
You're not
Because of
wrong.
the technical difficulties we are currently experiencing, your test
Make sure we
environment
have
is
what's going on.
unsupervised. Before
You have not missed much. They are only on Portal Carousel.
of testing,
Yeah, I
please
see
take a
that.
moment to write down the results of your test. An Aperture Science Reintegration Associate will revive you for an interview when society has been.
The thing worth noting about this game is you might have noticed both players waiting at the elevator before entering it. This is due to the way the game loads the next level. When you enter the elevator going down checks at a bunch of triggers to see if the dialogue is finished, and if it's not finished, it'll keep going, and if it is finished, it'll load the next map. So you want to enter the elevator so that it finishes the dialogue right before hitting a trigger, so you load the next map as soon as the dialogue's over. Spend the least amount of time waiting in the elevator. Which, every map is only a few seconds difference, max, if you time it wrong, but it is worth doing because over all 60 maps in the game, with most of them having fades, then it adds up pretty quickly.
Good. If you feel that a lethal military android has not respected
Sushi there gets the dialogue skipped by entering and having the announcer cut off Wheatley. Or Wheatley cut off the announcer, and the announcer cut Wheatley off.
The appropriate grievance filing paperwork.
Very nicely done. And Cribbs has a timer now.
Considering that there's already a 10-second gap in the timers, it's going to make for probably a pretty difficult race to actually determine who's winning.
I don't
If
think
it-
it was. I don't think
the
it was
trend keeps up.
start.
You have trapped yourself.
So I think they were about like 8 seconds off at the start already.
You'll notice that Msushi in that map, he clipped a cube through the door. The reason we do that is to activate a soft lock dialogue in order to continue the level early without actually solving the level.
You can actually fairly easily soft lock yourself in that map, but we do it using a pretty big glitch by clipping the cube through the door. The game gets confused when you have objects near portals, because it tries to put the object through the portal, even though it's not going there. Sushi misses that cube grab, but is able to recover very quickly. Nicely done.
You are not alone.
Giving
Yeah.
Crimson a little bit of a chance to pull ahead.
Apocalyptic low power environments of as few as 1.1 volts.
Both of them messed up a little bit. Crimson much
Not
less
nearly as
than
bad. Yeah.
Msushi, but I didn't had a really clean one.
Crimson is ahead of Sushi by a few seconds.
Momentum to movement.
Yeah.
7 to be exact.
Laws of physics no longer apply in the future. God help you.
Very early lead. There's still a lot of time to mess up.
You are a non-employee who has discovered this facility.
You're gonna see here Msushi do what's called a button glitch. Ooh, he got it
First try.
without the setup. That's a nice time save to see.
That's a good couple seconds, yeah.
All that is pretty much is that Msushi Msushi jumps on and then immediately off of the button. I do not know the exact tick amount, but basically on and immediately off the button, and that confuses the game, and it thinks you're always on the button, even though you're not.
Yeah, the game, I think it's you get on and off in one tick, so the game doesn't check the second tick to realize you got off for that certain trigger that the door has. Only a few buttons in the game will get button glitch like that. The sushi there gets what we call pancake shot. Very nicely done. It was really quick too.
This is a shot that skips a route that we've done for multiple years. We discovered it only like
A week ago?
is it 2 weeks ago? A week ago?
Week and a half ago, something like that.
Yeah, it saves like about 30 seconds over the route we
At
used to
least,
do,
yeah.
which still did skip some of that cutscene.
Yep. That we skipped probably about like 30 seconds that cutscene before, and now we skip like all
Another
of it.
30 seconds.
Another 30, 40 seconds of it. So now there's no cutscene there anymore. But that shot is basically, if you look at the coordinates in the game in the top left, which you probably can't see right now, but in your own game you can see they go to like 0.00 is how precise it is, and it is like as precise as those coordinates there. You have to get exactly the right angle.
It's a sub-pixel shot.
Yep.
Definitely the tightest in the game.
There's actually 2 of them in the run you're going to see. There's another one coming up way later.
Just glad. I believe at one point CL Show Pause wasn't allowed in runs. That
Yeah.
would make
Well, it
honestly
was
a lot of things of the more recent era of routing not doable, such as
the Crazy How era.
yeah, it's like Jerry Skip couldn't really be done without it, as an example.
It could. It would be way less precise. I don't use coordinates for it usually. I'm also a gamer, so.
Power up initiated.
Okay, don't panic. All right.
I'm
I think
sure
you'd need them a
using
little
us as
bit.
the most important character in the game, Hoopy.
Oh, there's a password. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah,
Shouts to Hoopy the Hoop.
very important. If you don't actually go for him, you lose approximately an hour and 5 minutes, I believe.
And you lose 300 clout, which is more important.
Yeah.
Wait, did I do B? Do you have a pen? Start writing these
Power
down.
up complete.
The
Because
Crimson.
Okay, listen. All right, new plan.
Crimson did not.
Oh,
So Crimson
I thought
lost.
he was. I thought it lagged. I thought he jumped.
It's you.
Crimson lost all his clout. Very unfortunate.
That's
Hate to see
unfortunate.
that happen.
I've been
Well, drag him Sushi in to say congrats.
after you murdered me.
You did what? Ah. Oh no! 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 Oh no! 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 No!
Let's see what the time difference is after this map.
We both said a lot of things that you're going to regret.
Because it's getting harder and harder to tell who's actually ahead.
We can put our differences behind us.
Yeah, it's just gonna continue like this.
You monster.
Oh yeah, just notice that Crimson has the Portal 1.
I will say
Portal gun model.
that since you went to all the trouble of
Is that
waking
what
me up,
that is?
you must
Yeah.
really,
It look-
really love to test.
Looks similar to the Portal
I
2
love it
model.
too.
I could.
Yeah,
I didn't
no, it's-
actually notice.
It's really similar.
Take care of
Uh,
first.
Sushi finishes wake up at 12:11. Which, if you told
Oh.
someone that like 3 weeks ago, that would be extremely impressive. Before
Yeah.
the pancake shop was discovered.
It's very interesting to see how we just tore past all barriers of time in like a
In literal,
day.
literal space.
Here we are.
The Crimson's 2 seconds ahead.
Be careful
Yeah.
not to trip over any parts
It was
of
still a
the
very
door.
close
The door
race.
has
Sure.
completely
Yeah.
burned when you threw them down here. The door
Sushi's
for
gonna
the
go
door
around a
should
trigger
be around
here,
somewhere.
hopefully.
Once you find it, we
Nicely
can
done.
start testing.
He's able to grab the portal gun earlier. He skips a trigger that causes the portal gun to not be able to be grabbed by starting another dialogue.
Once testing starts, I'm required by
That is not
protocol
optimal dialogue there,
to
but
you
does
to
make it to the end at the very
luckily,
least.
We haven't started testing yet. This will be our only chance
Yeah.
to talk.
This map's very
But the
finicky
important
when
thing
it
is
comes
you're
to getting dialogue.
And
Yep.
now I'm on to all your little
There is
tricks.
one extremely fast
There's
dialogue you can
nothing to
get
stop
that
us
saves
from
like
testing.
7 seconds, 7, 8 seconds, but you have to be extremely quick and then hit a specific trigger, which doesn't always like to be hit the way you think it does.
Dead, maybe.
Did Crimson get it?
It appears that Crimson got it, or at least a better dialogue than Msushi
Yeah.
got.
There's a lot of dialogue you can get in this map.
Sorry about
So
the
without actually listening to it, it's very hard to tell what he got.
Not bad.
Sushi completes the hardest map in the game.
You are at this.
very,
You should pace
very
yourself,
difficult
though.
maneuver,
We
as you
have a
could
lot
see.
of tests to
Hmm.
do.
Utilizing all the lasers in laser intro.
Glad I don't mess that up anymore. I used to mess it up a lot more than
It's one of
I'm
those
willing to
things that
admit.
it's very easy, but it's also very
This
easy to
next
mess up,
test involves discouragement
especially if you
redirection.
try to get that
I
shot while
just
you're
finished
moving.
building them before you had your, well, episode. Well
Very
done.
quick laser stares
Here
from
come the
Sushi.
test
Ooh.
results. You are a horrible
Again,
person.
excellent use of the
That's what it
lasers in the
says.
map.
A horrible
Mhm.
person.
Really utilizing
Who
the
do you
game
protect?
mechanics that GLaDOS is intending. Do you think GLaDOS has an issue with speedrunners breaking the tests?
I
Don't
mean,
let that horrible person thing
having
discourage you.
someone be able
It's
to
just a
complete
data
tests
point.
this
If it
quickly,
makes you
probably an
feel any
interesting,
better, science has now validated your birth
probably
mother.
interesting scientifically for her.
On the test.
Yeah,
Most
I
people
don't
in
see
the
that's,
why
that's
test
she
true.
would have a
imagine
problem
better
with
than
you
they
not
can bear. I
struggling.
want to
Yes.
congratulate you on beating
I don't
the
believe
odds and
she
somehow managing
explicitly
to
wants you to
balance
suffer,
everything
although
out.
she might.
Well, she definitely does, but I think that she's fine as long as you're testing.
Well, yeah, but it's in the name of science.
In the name of science.
I don't think it's in the name of I want to torture you.
I mean, one of my favorite lines in the game is
One
at
moment.
Incinerator when she's talking about after you die, she might
You're
pick up a new hobby
navigating
like
these test
reanimating the
chambers
dead.
faster than I
Yeah.
can build them. So feel
Pretty
free
good
to
one.
slow down and do
So she's gonna go for
whatever
a
it is you
custom
do when
patented
you're not
Msushi 100
destroying this
strat called What Maker
facility.
Jr.,
Ugh.
where there's a
I'll
strat
give you
called What
credit.
Maker where you
I
do
guess you
exactly
are
what he just
listening
did,
to me.
except you throw the
And for the
cube and
record,
then
you don't
catch the
have to
cube
go
midair.
that slow.
He does the junior version where you don't have to deal with the cube, but just toss it onto the platform. But does get the reportal, which is still pretty nice. Crimson probably gonna go for the full strat, so you can see that here.
Hopefully.
He's not a baby, so probably.
I don't really see much of
Does
a
make
point
it.
to the
Junior.
This
What Maker
next test
Jr. I don't feel like
involves your
the
science area
I don't feel like
faith
the reportal
has
gets
called
much
for an
harder
initiative to investigate
when
her
you
work. Here's an
Yeah.
interesting
include the
fact.
cube
You're not
into the
going
No,
to be
situation.
I
away.
agree. And it's
Too
also like,
expensive to
I think
plunk this
less than
far
3
down.
seconds faster
You
than
take
just
carbon
doing the
dioxide out of a room,
normal route
freshen it up a little,
without the
and put
reportal.
it back
Yeah.
in. So you'll be breathing the same room full of air
Wasn't
for the
paying
rest of your
fully
life.
attention. Did he get it
I
first
thought
try?
that was interesting.
Yeah, he did. Also, this map is
Nice.
funny because the strat is to grab the camera and put it on the button because that activates the end dialogue, which is so long that you can actually then complete the
Let's see what
chamber
the next
and
test
gets back
is.
to the end
Oh,
before
advanced
GLaDOS
area
finishes
faith
talking.
plates. Well, have fun soaring through
You
the air
basically
without a
get by
care in the
right as the
world.
dialogue is
I had to go
ending.
to the wing
Yep,
that
it
was
turns out very
made
well.
of glass and pick up 15 acres of broken glass by myself.
She's gonna go for an air strafe here. If you're too low into that portal, you can just get flung due to the way the game handles
Sorry.
angled
I'm
portals.
still cleaning out the test chambers.
Yeah, that fling is a
Sometimes
lot
there's
more
still trash in
garbage
them,
than it looks
standing
like it
around,
is. A lot of
Yep.
things
smoking
can
and
go
being
wrong.
useless.
Yeah,
Try
it's
to
very
avoid
easy
the
to mess up, but
garbage moving
Sushi is a
towards you.
pro gamer, has never made a mistake in his life.
Remember before
So
when I was talking about smelly garbage standing around being useless?
I
Yeah,
think it's
otherwise,
easy.
not a
Lost in 30
very
seconds
I was
in
actually
Finale
talking
4,
about you,
so
and I
anything's
smelled it.
possible.
You didn't react at the time.
Crimson
but
doesn't
I
go
was
for the air
worried
strafe
you'd
and instead he
spin
goes for
around
that
your
bonk,
head,
which
would have
is
made the
just about as
psychologist seem
fast.
insane.
Yeah, not a huge time
That's why
loss.
I had to call you garbage a second time.
I don't think we ever properly explained reportals. Did we?
No,
When
we have not.
Laser Overdue came up. So basically, when you go through a portal in this game and try to shoot another one away from while you're inside of it, the game wants to push you out
I'm sorry. I don't know why
of
that
the
went wrong.
portal.
Anyway,
We
that's
actually
my
use
interesting
that
science
little
fact.
boost that we get from the portal in order to build speed, as you
Every
saw
test
Msushi
chamber is
do.
equipped with an
In this case, he does it
evaporation
3
grill on its exit,
times.
so that test
Kind of
subjects
difficult,
cannot smuggle
but also
test
kind of
objects
not. Very
out of
easy
the
to
test
lose time
area.
on this
This
chamber,
one is
so it's good to
broken
see that you got it.
to take
It's a
anything
mechanic that was
First
in
try.
Portal 1 as well, but not quite to that extent. And it's a mechanic that's intended to prevent portal standing, where you stand between two portals and whoever you and you shoot a new portal and you are able to go directly there. Which it's a very broken mechanic that is still in the game. You just
Yeah,
have to hold a direction while you do it, so that you can't stay between the two portals, but you can quickly go between them.
Involves emancipation grill.
Sushi doing the
Remember,
secret route,
I told you
Fizzler
about
intro.
being the last test area that did not have one.
Route that looks like it should have been found in 2013, but was actually found in 2018.
Yep,
Really fun.
it was very funny waking up and seeing the words "new Fizzler intro route" in the Discord, because that's the route that was found probably day one by like half the casual people who played this game, because I know that's how I beat the map the first time I played it.
It's me. I'm okay.
The old route. You mean?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
seem to
all
have
route.
defeated its load-bearing capacity. Well done.
Sushi going for double dialogue, skip and does get it. Basically what happens there is right at the top of this faceplate there is a trigger that you have that counts how many times you hit it. So you're supposed to only hit it one time per faceplate trip, but Sushi hits it, crouches to then go into it again, and then falls out of it and then uncrouches to hit it again with his head. So he hits it 3 times on one go, activating a multiple dialogues more than he's supposed to. Able to skip about 30 seconds of that cutscene, so very nice.
Look at you.
And then have trouble with the ending, which is the easier
Wasn't too
part,
bad.
but you know, it wasn't too bad.
The whole the beginning part of chapter 3 is
Rough.
one of the hardest parts of the run. Wouldn't say the hardest, but
It's a
kinda
gauntlet of a lot of things you can mess up.
yeah, 4 maps. 3 of them are extremely easy choke points.
Hmm.
Maybe ceiling catapult, maybe not as much of a choke point. You just lose
It just
time.
has the one major skip at the start.
But ricochet here, you see that flank?
That
That's
is
really
good.
easy to mess up.
Yep. And it looks very cool though, because the way that the cycle works out is the cube was able to activate the laser just long enough for you to go over the panel. And if you time it perfectly, you can actually have the panel bump you up like Sushi did to land on the platform.
It's pretty satisfying glitch.
Yep.
Not a glitch. It's just a route.
Yeah. Just because the cube falls the exact same speed as you do. Which is very helpful for this. It looks extremely difficult at the time, but it's not actually that bad if you know it. Crimson also gets panel fling. Nicely done.
This is looking pretty good. 2 good runners here.
Yep. Who are both not rusty.
Really good. Shocker.
Shocker.
Interesting. I guess it helps that
Sushi would have gotten that dialogue if he actually got that portal stand, but alas.
I feel like these people would
glass
be
there.
Yeah. Kind of the way that we did it with the door in Smooth Jazz. Same principle.
Yep, and he was trying to get to the door because it's long enough dialogue quote that even if the cube falls off like it did, he would activate the dialogue quote and be able to get back and fix the cube in time. But
Yeah.
did not get his portal stand instead. Lost all that time. So not too bad, but very annoying for sure. Crimson doesn't even go for the cube through glass.
It's reasonable. I don't.
Yeah.
Good news.
Now here's the last choke point in the run. Although now that you can save load, might not be as much anymore.
It's
First
better
of
than
all,
before, but
you have that
door
skipped.
skipped. And then there's that cube they're supposed to grab.
Then you have the double report.
This trick
fine.
is so much better than before with safe loading. Because it wasn't that it's not that hard, but there's a lot of things that can go wrong because you have to do so many things within this short time span.
Yeah.
So basically what he does there is he portals on the ceiling and the floor, walks into the floor portal and does a reportal, and then falls through and then shoots a portal below him again, and then grabs the cube midair and then jumps right as he lands on the platform. It gives it just enough speed to get to the end.
This next test involves turrets.
Crimson do that too. It's very annoying because there's that one part of the ceiling jutting out you can very easily bonk your head on.
That's you in 5 seconds.
Both had pretty decent.
First
I don't know what to call that section.
Oh, the turrets? No, which, yeah.
The big 4. I
The
don't
big
know.
4. Start of chapter 3.
Msushi didn't do the end turn and choke quite right. I believe he wanted to go through that without destroying any of the turrets.
Over. He's now on genocide ending. Yeah, Crimson picking up quite a decent lead here.
Yeah, he's also catching up RTA, which does say a lot.
It does say a lot because the loads are different. This is a pretty funny map because you set up your portals before you even start the map, and then you just drop the cube to activate the end dialogue.
Yeah,
drops right on the lasers too.
Pretty nice that right
Well,
after
I've been
those
working on a
4
belated birthday
pretty
present for
difficult
you.
and easy chokeable
Well,
maps, we get a
more of
lot of
belated birthday medical
relatively
procedure.
simple
Well,
maps
This is arguably the easiest map in the
it's a
that are
game.
hard
medical
to
experiment.
People
really
say
mess up.
Important is
people
its
say Lazy Intro is the
effectiveness.
easiest map in the game, but that map at least has the pressure of missing Laser Intro.
I mean, I've missed it several times. Then again, I've also lost
That
at one
jumpsuit you're
point
wearing
12
looks
seconds in
stupid.
that map. True
But
story.
that's not me talking.
And
I
by
didn't
that map, I
twelve.
mean laser relays.
On other
Oh,
people,
Laser
it looks
Relays.
fine.
That's
But
impressive.
right here, a
Believe it or
What's
not.
really
scientist
funny is there's
that I'm
actually a
holding
trigger to
straight.
spawn the cube in that map, and you
Not
can
just an
very,
outfit,
not very
an
easily, but you can
engineer
definitely jump
robot
over it
fashion.
if you don't
You
know, you're not paying
Oh,
attention.
wait. It's a
So you
Yeah.
can
ship.
just
I'm
soft
going
lock
to
and not
the
have,
list of
or
test
not
subjects
soft
in
lock, but
cryogenic storage.
you can not have the
I
cube there,
managed to
which
find
is
2 with your last name.
unfortunate indeed.
A man and a woman.
I have a lot of
So
embarrassing
that's
stories in
interesting.
Chapter 3. I don't think
It's a
there's any
small
map that
world.
I haven't lost more than 10 seconds on.
That's understandable.
In the
Crimson goes for the Samurai there, though. Very nicely done.
I have a
like
If he
I've
does
died
this.
in
surprise
turret
for you after
blocker.
this next test. Telling you would spoil
Turn
the
and chose is
surprise.
obviously easy
So I'll
choke.
just give you a hint.
I don't think you've died in
It
this
involves
map. At least I
meeting
hope not.
people you haven't seen in a long time.
You don't know. This is the one map.
You know who has died in this map?
Oh,
Can't even.
nice.
Right?
I
Pretty
don't
quick
know
with
how
Sushi,
to.
though. Pretty easy map. This is one of the most intended routes in the run, if not the most.
I think we're. I think at least one of the runners. I don't actually know the time. I believe Crimson's still ahead of pre-Pancake Skip world record at this point.
Probably.
It says this
I don't
test
really
test was
have any
designed for an
reference for
event which
that.
was Nobel
Just a
Prize
guess.
winners.
But just to
It
know.
doesn't say what the prize was for. Well, I know it wasn't for being immune to
Yeah, this
Sometimes-
past, like, 6 months, there's been so many time saves found
It's kinda ridiculous.
between the upcoming
And they're all
Pancake
really
and then
precise.
the upcoming Jerry Skip is another massive one.
I'm getting choked up just thinking about it.
There's only a few cutscenes left in the game that we haven't skipped.
I do find it kinda strange that we didn't find Jerry Skip before, because we knew about it for
Yeah,
years,
we knew
if
about
I
it.
remember correctly.
I think we knew about Elevator Clip. We didn't know it was possible on that map.
2, 1.
But I guess there's no
No, I
reason
think
to
we
assume
knew it
wouldn't
was
be.
possible on that map.
Remember, we found it
And
like
then it
right.
took us 2 days to find a setup.
Yeah, well, it took. Well, we tried it for
If
like
it makes you
a
feel
couple
any
weeks.
better, they
People
abandoned
tried it
it.
and never found a setup.
So I
And
very
then it was
seriously
gotten
doubt
once
they'd
in
even want
tournament,
to
and then
see
we all
you.
found a setup immediately. But we all, I mean, you and Zaipe.
Mostly me. I believe everyone uses my setup. We're at
Yeah, but
credit, by the way.
Zaipe did find a setup. Just because it sucks doesn't mean he didn't find one.
Well, yeah, but we don't use it.
Speaking of Jerry Skip, it's coming up here. This is
That's why
the
I
lamest
brought
part
it
of the
up.
run.
Pretty much all
So
it
you
is,
can
getting into
line up
precise
here.
position, doing some
Not quite.
maneuvers, and then you can clip underneath the elevator here.
This elevator is very special because it doesn't check for the elevator's position to fade you to the next map. It checks for the player's position due to the cutscene at the end of this map. So Sushi having a bit of trouble here. This is
Apparently-
extremely precise, and also it's literally RNG.
Apparently, you can do this on any elevator of this type. Pretty much, it's just that the elevator elevator triggers won't care.
The only other map this could possibly be useful on is Core after the GLaDOS fight. Crimson gets it. Very nicely
Third.
done. Crimson ahead in real time.
I think you got it like third try or something.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
That was bad. Msushi really not having it well. Let's see if I can determine what's going on. If I can see his position,
He is getting the
it's kind of
bumps.
hard to see.
Yeah.
Crimson, pretty simple map here.
There we go. First try.
Hey, how's it going?
Nice. Excellent, Jerry skipping.
Well, you know the old
Jerry
formula.
skipped.
Comedy equals tragedy plus time. And you
Dane
have been asleep for a
skipped.
while.
Okay,
So I
listen
guess
here,
Sorry.
it's
buddy.
actually pretty funny when you do the math.
I didn't invite you
Ooh.
for this slander. Msushi, that cube was right on the edge, but he did catch it because that could have ended very poorly for him.
Triple A's are what Crimson's on right now. Pretty interesting map. Also one of the simplest.
I thought
Yeah.
about
Although the
my
routes
dilemma,
got
and I
optimized a
came
little
up with
bit
a
just to
solution
get over
that
to the door
I also
faster.
think works out
But
best for
I
one
think too major in the past like 8 years.
I still haven't learned that. It's just like a second, if I recall correctly. It's a
No,
10
it isn't.
second map, so
Yeah. It is literally a second max.
yeah.
But
Federal
pretty simple.
regulations require me to warn you that this next test chamber is looking.
And Crimson entering jailbreak. I think we actually changed the audio. I forgot about that.
Chambers look even
There we go. Crimson has audio
What's
now.
going on? Who turned off the lights?
Hey, buddy, I'm speaking in an
So Crimson on
accent that is
jailbreak, which
beyond her
has
reach of
this first little
hearing.
skipper to enter this room early and hop across that gap before the door opens.
Come on, I'm closing the doors. Okay, quick recap. We are
Not quite the
escaping.
cleanest
Or
hops, but
we're
good enough.
escaping. So you're doing great. Just keep running.
He's gonna jump over this railing. Nicely done.
You were almost at the last test.
Turn off her neurotoxin and then confront her. Again, though, for the moment, run!
Sushi also gets the start of jailbreak. Just gonna hop across the gap. Pretty easy.
Come on!
Let's see if Crimson's gonna go for the fast escape route on the railing. Let's see if he's enough of a gamer. He's not. You can actually stay on the railing, and there's an invisible wall you have to go around, but it saves like a second or two to go around it on the railing instead of falling off.
Crimson has been playing very well so far in this tournament, and it is showing in the time. He is very much ahead at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
The 40 to 50 second range
Yep.
for the time ahead. It's not impossible for Msushi to come back.
For sure. There's
But-
still plenty of hard stuff for Crimson to mess up later in the run.
Yeah, but at this moment, I would say that if Crimson doesn't make any major mistakes, there isn't too much Msushi could do to combat it.
Yep. I'd agree with that.
Doesn't mean that he's lost. Just means Crimson needs to mess up.
Ooh,
Yep.
start down
For
here.
sure. It's a Crimson's race to lose more than Msushi's to win.
The old caretaker of this place went
Notice a couple things about this
chopped
map.
up his entire staff.
The first one being that he goes above the level at the beginning. This is in order to skip like 15 seconds of dialogue with Wheatley turning on his light.
No memory.
And
Very
you notice
annoying
that-
dialogue too that teleports you back, regardless of where you are.
But guess who the former
And you'll notice that
duplicate of himself?
because that there's no light because we skipped the cutscene.
Smelly.
We use a command which was allowed only like 5 months ago called man ambient light in order to make it easier to see in this level because it would be actually pretty difficult to see, especially for
Usually runners can
and-
see pretty fine depending on their monitor. It depends on the monitor, obviously, but yeah,
Yeah.
for most people it's not too bad. But for the stream, it's nearly impossible to see.
yeah. Emphasis on the some monitors part. I had a monitor that used to not be able to.
Yeah.
Gonna go has one.
Gonna go has one. But it's really funny because they literally just cannot see.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Criminal even.
Running this game is a little over an hour long in game. With about 10 minutes to load.
Yeah, hour 10 minutes.
So Crimson are going to go for Pancake Shot 2 Electric Boogaloo. This one was just found a few days ago,
Oh, brilliant! You made it through. Well done.
I believe, like a week ago max.
Ta-da!
It
Only
uses the
doesn't
same
really-
setup.
Center. Thank
It
you
does the
very
same setup, the same idea as
It's deciding which turrets to
Wheatley
kill
skip,
and which to
skip.
toss, and it's using
Yeah,
that massive
in Chapter
there
1.
as a template.
Done a bit differently.
Done a bit differently, and also doesn't save nearly as much time, but
Any sort of announcement before I open, like
it skips
Actually,
a turret fly.
or like a hack-
I'm fairly certain it doesn't actually save any time, technically.
Bring your daughter
But the
to
thing about
work.
this map is that there's a lot of RNG with the other skip that we do. If you get the perfect RNG,
I mean, I realise they're children.
door skip saves no time.
Fairly solid, really.
I'm pretty sure it actually loses time
Absolutely.
if you get perfect
100%.
RNG
Okay, let's try this way.
with the
Alright,
turrets.
we can't use a turret, so let's
Any other
take care of that
situation, or in
neurotoxin
particularly
generator.
bad RNG, that's when the door shot becomes useful because it's a consistent way to get the same time, which is still quite fast. You got a
Ha! I knew we were going the
you got a
right way. This is the
113 with
neurotoxin generator. Bit bigger than I
door
expected.
shot. How
I'm not gonna be able to
fast
just,
are you?
push it over.
Hmm.
That requires a really fast door shot. I know Cantiman got a 117.
At the top. So, there's our handiwork.
Well, if we're talking about consistent lineups,
Simulated, you know.
maybe it is still faster. But like,
The doors look- What are you doing?
how much it matters really depends on RNG. And I
Yeah,
would still
Cantiman-
just
Even is getting about the same as perfect RNG.
I would still just go for the turret fly if I had the perfect RNG.
Oh, look, that did it.
That requires knowing you have perfect RNG before you do it.
Hold on.
I mean, you know when you have
Neurotoxin
good enough RNG. There's something you can tell.
If it starts with a white turret and you get the second black turret, then
Then you
That's
can't
good
lose
enough
more than
RNG.
10 seconds, basically.
that's always good enough RNG because you're always going to get either double black or black white black. Because the way that RNG works is it spawns them in groups of 4, and it's always going to give you 2 black and 2 white turrets in that group of 4.
This should take us right to
So the order is
I can't believe I'm
randomized among
finally
those.
doing this. Woo! I knew this would be fun. They told me it wasn't fun at all, so they said it's not fun at all. And I believed them. I don't know what to fool to myself.
We are now on slow mode for the speed run. Best time in the
Yeah,
run.
this is the GDQ donation time here, where there's just lots of nothing happening for like 7 minutes.
Sealed off years ago, of course.
Yeah,
Should be getting
basically.
close.
This map is literally a cutscene,
No neurotoxin,
followed
no
by
turrets,
the next
sure,
map,
never
which
know
has
what
like 3 things you have to do in total.
Hold on, because I might not have thought this next part completely.
Just a glow cube.
Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Get to her. I'll find you.
But this is pretty much the halfway point for the run, just about. Is this upcoming chamber core?
Yeah, basically. We can assess the time behind now. 31:38 was Crimson's
Mhm.
finishing tube ride time.
Yep.
We'll see how long. Looks like it's going to be basically a minute at this point.
Yeah. Pretty decent bit behind for Msushi 100.
Further ahead for when you got through this
I'm going to do a quick,
If I'd known you let
since I have the
yourself
time,
get this easily,
32:38.
I would just
time
add
analysis.
on a rope from the
real
ceiling.
quick, see if I can look at each person's PB. Oh, it's exactly a minute behind. Interesting.
Yeah, it's exactly a minute behind. Which is funny because Sushi's just about exactly a minute behind Crimson
Otherwise,
in terms
I'm
of
afraid you're
PB.
about to become the immediate past president of the Being Alive Club.
Alright.
Seriously though, goodbye.
Crimson finished in 31:38.
Yep.
He is only 5 seconds behind his PB.
Oh, nice.
Very interesting. I mean, it shows. He didn't make a lot of mistakes. He played really
Yeah.
well so far.
You were busy back there.
I have not seen his PB, so I don't know where his time save is. If there's stuff later in the run. This is very possible.
But I have a
Because Sushi has 30 seconds in Finale 4 in his PB to save.
deadly neurotoxin.
Unsure.
If I were you, I'd take a deep breath.
Because I think he got bad ending and then recovered poorly. Because that sounds about right.
Hello.
His best possible time was a low 59 going into core,
Is 80% correct.
That's pretty hype.
That's funny. I don't
which means that there is probably
In fact, I
a
feel
decent
pretty
amount of time saved.
Alternate core detected.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
probably.
what I'm talking about.
To initiate
Most
core
likely,
detected,
unless the
please
goals are
That'd be-
messed up, which could be the
That would be
case.
hilarious if
Substitute core
Crimson
accepted. Substitute core.
got
Are you
world
ready to
record
start
right now.
procedure?
Yes.
Corrupted core.
Hmm,
Are you ready
that
to
would
start
be
No.
a 59:52.
52.
Stalemate
We
detected.
finally got that after a couple days. I haven't verified it yet,
Unless a stalemate associate is
Just
present
don't.
to press the
but it's there.
substitution button.
It's
Kind of an
still
issue because
verified.
I actually need to do work
There's actually retiming to
on
be
it
done
because
because it crashed multiple times in the finale.
What if this really hurts? Ah, I didn't think of that.
Crimson doesn't stream very often, but he does every now and then.
Are you
Might
just saying
reject
that,
it.
or is it really gonna hurt?
Might
You're
reject
saying that,
it.
aren't you? You're just saying it, aren't you? I think it's gonna
Get a
hurt.
better run, nerd.
No.
What's funny is Kent even got a 10006, I think, that did not have demos. He streamed the whole thing, just
That's
didn't have demos for it,
ridiculous.
so you couldn't submit it.
Rejected instantly.
Oh yeah. Did you open the demo file?
No.
Oh, it
Someone
was
else
a Rickroll.
rejected it before I could.
It was a Rickroll.
So, I'm back to content because something is going to actually happen in the game now.
Yep, frame perfect trick here.
Something called the elevator skip. And the
AKA
way it
Nick
works is
Petro
that
glitch.
you skip the elevator.
Yep, that trick is as easy as it looks, pretty much. I've taught people how to do this over Twitch chat before.
Yeah.
It's not too difficult.
It's not
There's-
technically a given. It does actually try to get you off.
Yep,
It's not really good at it.
but it is definitely extremely easy. And it saves. It's the biggest skip in the run, saving like 2.5 minutes. And fast fall.
Nice fast fall. I still have no idea how to do that.
That Crimson's big time saves are about 10 seconds of conversion intro and finale 4, so nothing too major, it seems.
I mean, that's still substantial.
Yeah, 10 seconds is a
Enough
pretty
that
decent
if he
chunk.
doesn't lose that time, he saves time. Because that's how math works.
that was the biggest brain analysis of a speedrun I've ever seen. If he doesn't lose time, he saves that time. How did you get to that conclusion? This
I
is
don't
what
know what my brain is thinking sometimes.
this is what the public education system gets us.
Very important.
Mhm. Yes, they're both on a cutscene right now, so very exciting.
Yeah, extremely unfortunate. Kind of the thing about commentating. The only downside to commentating a good race where both of the players are relatively close
This section
Is
sucks
that-
because nothing happens.
is that usually if it's a bad race where someone's clearly winning, like there'll be someone still on like the first part of chapter 5 while the other person's near the end of the cutscene phase.
Yeah.
Is Crimson on record pace? Is Can't Even run that bad?
I've not seen Kent Evans run.
I can look real quick.
Yeah.
For curiosity's sake. Also, we're
Also-
finally out of cutscene mode.
For any of you Source fans, you might recognize this as the generic Source wake-up animation. It's not synced because the game unsyncs itself due to timers and loads because we use in-game time, so it gets very separate throughout the run anyways. It started out like
Yeah.
10 seconds apart and now they're 30 something
Yeah.
plus.
To have it synced would be to sync it every like 5 minutes or less. And that's just not an effort that's really too worth doing. Although I guess we could do that in theory. Actually,
lot of
no,
effort.
that's more work. Never mind. I was
Yeah,
thinking
right.
like you could do in the press of a button. You can't do that in the press of a button.
It's also like you have to do that every single map transition and every time they just load a save
Oh,
if you want to keep it perfect.
I only just now realized what noob meant. It would be world record in speedrun.com sense what you're referring to, but it's he doesn't really seem to be on pace for the actual record, which hasn't been verified yet.
Yeah, if only there was a mod around who.
It was a 59.52. Yeah, I wonder who can do that.
Oh well, I guess we'll never know.
He is about 30 seconds behind that run. So it doesn't really seem likely that he's going to get world record. But it's still going pretty well and can be a PB.
Yeah, solid PB for sure. Crimson definitely has potential to get world record. Not this run probably, but just in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kent even just got the sub hour. Was it last night? Or 2 days ago.
A couple days ago.
Recently. Also, I'll point out though that Msushi sent me a Snapchat that said "bruh," so
Nice.
worth knowing.
Is he not feeling good about this performance? Oh goodness.
It's kind of a bruh moment.
You notice there on that map, two things were used there. A brief portal, first of all, but that was in combination with something called a scripted momentum. And I'm gonna completely butcher the explanation, most
Do it.
likely. Pretty much the game, because of these maps having really long flings, it has triggers that kind of correct your velocity in order to have it go right where it wants you to. The scripted momentum abuse is just us triggering that in unusual times, because usually it's based on when you
It was
have
actually
some
hit the
speed
plate.
and going through particular portals.
Yep. There's a very good repulsion intro, by the way.
Very rare. This map's awful. One of my
This
least
map,
favorite maps in the
this map,
run.
if you watch it, looks super simple because they're just doing a couple hops to do just one jump here.
I just accept 10 seconds of time loss every time I do this map. Like the
Sushi
button
not
glitch.
playing.
Button glitch is not consistent, really.
No, it's not.
And I'm really awful at the strat in the middle
Hmm.
to get up to the middle
Yeah,
platform.
it's weird for sure. And then you don't want to use the I-beam strat because that's just sad.
I use the IBs.
Yeah, but it's just sad. You don't want to.
Yeah. Rank 6, by the way.
Like top 5. You only
High
need to say like a
standard.
minute and a half to get top 5.
Yeah, basically.
I think it's literally like a minute and a
I
half.
think I have other priorities before I do that,
Yeah,
such as Mirror's Edge sub 30, because I still haven't gotten there yet, even though I'm
such
5
as
seconds off.
Valley World Record.
Actually, am I 5 seconds off? Pretty sure I am.
Mirror's Edge is a cool game though.
Yeah, it is.
Bomb Flings is a
Enough
pretty
about
easy map
that.
though. So nicely done, Sushi.
Sushi keeping his pace behind Crimson. Does still seem to be slowly losing time over him just because of how well he's playing. I wonder if Crimson's going to do the strat.
That
Oh,
would be a yes.
oh boy.
I thought for sure that Gel was gonna bonk the
The
ceiling though.
strat, one of the hardest strats done in the run,
Yep,
saves
probably.
about 7 seconds over not doing it. He's doing it perfectly.
Yep,
Ooh,
easy. Nicely done. That's what
nice.
we call a Pog Champ.
That's a game performance. I think only him and can't even actually do it in runs.
Maybe.
And maybe some people who probably shouldn't be,
Zepe
like
might do
Swagatron, I
it.
think, does it.
Probably. Zepe's only the person I could see who might do it. Yeah, I bet no one is good at the other strat. That's the thing. It's
Absolute
essentially-
maniac.
It's an essential 7 seconds.
7 seconds. If you mess up at all, you've basically lost all your time save.
Oh yeah, Crazy how does it. That's right.
Maniacs, all of them.
Yeah,
It's so not worth it, in my opinion.
but it is so.
Just because of how easily chokeable it is.
Why
even
did
if
he
you're
reload the
consistent
save?
at it.
I don't know why Crimson reloaded the save for that.
Oh, it's not a.
At least he had a save
I guess
right
he
there,
just. I guess he just does it normally.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What-
We did save a bit of time, I guess.
I wonder if that was a panic save, or if he like meant like it was a contest choice, or if he just like clicked the save this load button.
I mean,
It
it did
definitely is.
probably
It definitely
save
is.
time. So
Yeah,
here's
it definitely is
really
like a reaction to you make any mistake when you load your save, kind of thing. Which isn't necessarily a bad reaction to have. A lot of times, especially because this game usually it is faster just load your save.
There you
Sushi
saw a
gets
really
the shot. Sushi
basic
does get the
skip.
shot. Yeah, the skip was found like first day the game came out. I'm pretty sure.
Now we're on chapter 7, which is
That used to be the most precise shot in the run.
It wasn't even that precise. You could get it
No.
quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Seconds.
It's hard for new runners. Still think you see a lot of new runners having trouble with.
This chapter is also pretty hard.
Yep.
I
There's
don't know
4
if I
maps
speak for
and
everyone, but if in
most
the
of them
list
suck.
of the hard chapters, it would probably be 3 or 7. I can't really speak for everyone on that.
Or 6.
Or 6, yeah.
It's
I don't
probably
really
like
think they're hard. It's just easy to lose time more. So
probably like 6, 7, 3 for.
I wonder if
I don't know.
anyone.
Those 3 are just all bad. Depends on the runner, obviously. Crimson cannot get that portal shot. And he does get it.
Well, yeah, Blend. Well, yeah,
This
Blender.
is
That's
this is
what
what we call a yeet.
I really hope Msushi does the secret strat.
I
Aw,
don't think he does. I don't think either of them know it.
I'm pretty. I know Msushi knows it. I've seen him do
does
it
he really?
in
Oh.
a tournament race.
I did not remember seeing him do it. That's funny. But yeah, that
I'm
was
pretty
a
sure I'm the
yeet.
only runner that does it. Because I'm awful at the other one, at the other route.
How's your gold?
Hmm?
How's your gold on that then?
I could check right now if you want.
I mean, I won't know what anyone else's gold is, so.
Should have really talked about that map. That was the trick that they both just did is probably one of the least understood tricks. I don't think I've ever heard a good explanation as to why scrolling on the gel like that causes you to fling so far.
I think it has to do with the fact that it's slanted. The game doesn't want you to bounce straight up or straight backwards. So the way that it calculates your bounce is forward. So you actually stay on the gel longer than you normally would. So you get more jump inputs. That's the guess. Because like if you think about the angle, when you're going on an angled blue gel surface, you should just bounce like straight up. The game obviously does something different.
My gold is 36.86 from prop flings.
Pretty good. That's a gold with.
We don't actually know that.
Yeah, I have no idea. But that gold he did get after the
Crimson struggling with the reportal there.
Also on this map, if you load a save, it's yellow, and I don't know why. It's only this map, I'm pretty sure.
Crimson's now behind RTA. Not that that technically
Not that it
matters,
means anything, but yeah. Life is taking lemons back. Although 3 doses is a map that Sushi's going to lose time on over Crimson, almost guaranteed. Because Crimson's really good at this map. And also doesn't do second stuck. Although Crimson does not get the portal high enough. That is very unfortunate.
I do that sometimes. This is a yikes conversion intro, though.
It is. He does not save his 10 seconds.
Was this one of the maps?
Yeah. This in Finale 4 were the 2 maps that they said.
Clearly
She
needs
gets
to practice.
Really quick, stuck there.
This place and the one route Crimson and Crazy Box are the only places that's used in the run.
Yep.
Basically, all that is you trick the game into thinking that you're falling. There's probably a botched explanation again. I'm not really too technically knowledgeable. Basically,
There's a different setup there.
Falling. You continue to build speed over time, and then you let go and you fall really fast.
And bounce on the blue gel. And it gives you all the speed that it thinks you has. Because the way the game calculates your speed when you're falling isn't based on how long it's based on how far you've fallen, but how long you've fallen. 2 maps that Crimson has time save on over PP. But Sushi does get the second suck launch there, which Crimson does not go for. He instead goes for what we know as Bouncy Tube.
It was interesting to know. According to research that Crimson did, I believe, I don't remember exactly the times, but
It's
the strats
the
were
exact
basically
same.
the same if you do the good strats for both.
Yep. There's a ending strat for the first room in 3 gels. that Crimson does that gets you into the control room faster. Which, if you do that, it saves enough time over going back and getting the gel
Yeah.
that it's negates the time save you get from the second stock launch.
So I guess what I'd say is that either route's viable.
Yeah, whichever you
There's only
prefer.
one superior route.
The bouncy tube, especially the early bouncy tube, is finicky. So if you're not comfortable with it, it's not worth going for it. And there is a pretty good setup for second stock.
Yeah, that's the thing I think of when he brought that up. Like, I think that it's much easier to not mess up or lose too much time with the stuck launch route.
Mm. I feel like stock launch, unless the gel spreads off, you're going to usually get it within a few attempts. Whereas,
Usually one, unless you really mess up your position.
Oh, that's funny, is it? Oh, it's funny because we've been at this for 12 hours and you haven't solved it either, so I don't know why you're laughing. We've got 1 hour. Solve it.
also right here is a cube throw, because as soon as that button gets activated, a panel goes up blocking you from the door. But if you hold up against the door, then you get through in time.
They both got it first try. It was pretty
Yep.
I
impressive.
have to test
Yeah,
all the
it is
time.
definitely a
Till I
choke
get
point,
this-
especially for newer
this
runners.
itch. You
There's a
know,
lot of things you can very easily mess up because cube throws are not
Oh, but I'll tell you
the
what,
most
good test.
consistent thing in this game.
Oh, man alive.
Yeah, Zype, we really couldn't really believe that it was faster without actually seeing.
So you're gonna
But
Video
you
proving
said
so.
a lot of things, Ipe.
It's gonna be just.
Hmm.
I'm actually going for a very important dialogue skip here too.
Well, very important.
Very important. It saves about a second.
Since
Uh,
making tests is so difficult, why don't you just keep solving
But
it?
Couldn't tell if you were serious or not. My
That's
apologies.
That's Wheatley skip
You solve it.
7.1.
And
We skip a lot of Wheatleys at this run.
Yeah, I counted like the major Wheatley skips in the run at some point just for the choke. I think there's 8.
You're counting that as a major Wheatley skip?
It's a major Wheatley skip. No, 7.1. It's a minor one.
Yes.
Cube throw 7.
Oh. Alright. Analyzing his time again, he is 10 seconds behind his PB.
That's about right. Oh, also
he
right
lost-
here, you see Sushi's flying. That's important. That's called crouch fly glitch.
Flag.
Basically, the way this works, boss explanation again. When you are in a funnel and you're stopped and you toggle your crouch state, you go from crouching to standing or vice versa. Then the game will keep you in a zero gravity effect where you keep floating like you would be if you're in a funnel, but everywhere. There's a lot of specifics with it, like if you touch a separate funnel, then you lose it. If you lose the source funnel, you lose the fly. In the map, you get the crouch fly. If you change your crouch state again, you lose fly. If you're Sushi, you cannot grab this cube.
Very interesting stuff.
Yeah,
Most powerful thing about it just being the fact that you can preserve it through maps, which
Yep.
allows you to just simply finish maps.
after the funnel's introduced, there's a total of 2 maps in Chapter 8 that don't have fly. And Chapter 8
That
is the
wasn't-
longest chapter.
That used to not be the case, like 3 years ago. None of the fly preserve routes in the middle of Chapter 8 were really done, except for wall button into polarity.
Yeah. Oh, Sushi has a really cool route here too.
We got our act together. Hope he doesn't die.
I don't think he will if he's this high
I
up.
guess, yeah, you probably can't.
You probably can. I'm sure there's a way to die.
Well, yeah.
It's hard enough.
Perfectly good test chambers.
You haven't seen him, Sushi 100.
Shook them out good as new.
That's a
See
cool
here,
little route there.
Map. Just a
And then
nice
gets a
little
cube
cube
throw.
throw. Gets first try. Always good. You can die other ways, can't even. That's definitely not the only way.
There we go. Be honest, you can't even tell. Can
I can attest to that.
We're saying going for the funnel to make it that throw a little bit easier. By a little bit, I mean a good bit easier.
Hardest map in the game.
Yeah, this is the easiest map in the game for sure.
Coming up by Msushi.
Nicely done. You jump, and that's the route. It's funny because it's literally true. There's a few maps in this game where the doors open from the start. You don't actually have to open the door as part of the puzzle. And I think literally every single one of them, we just skip to the end.
Alright, so that last test was
Like every single one, I think we find a way to get to the end before you're supposed to. Before doing any of the puzzle.
This
Sushi has a
map's fun.
trick here called Great Shot. because that shot's pretty great.
Depending on who you ask, it's also called Portal Cut, but that's a bad name. So,
Because it doesn't mean anything. But something funny about the way that trick works is
well,
it's
then
because
again,
if you look
hold
at-
on.
what?
Y'all called the shot secret panel pancake skip, so I'm not really sure.
It's because it's flat as a pancake.
Yeah, sure. All right.
The way that shot works is if you look at the grate, you can actually see that it's outlined by a white outline, which actually is a portal surface. It's just a very small portal surface.
I'm pretty sure Tegger
So-
actually has an explanation along those
Yeah.
lines for Portal Cut as a name.
Probably. But yeah, so that is actually a portal surface. So what you do is you can shoot it, and when you shoot a portal, the game doesn't check every single spot in the portal, it checks in an X. So you shoot that spot, and the X it checks happens to be along the edge of the grate.
All right, I don't think it's just because it's called Cut. Let's see if I can actually find it.
It's Tanger, so I can't imagine it makes any sense.
Might give us stronger results.
We called it Pig again. As long as that's a name, I don't think that I really care about any other name.
I think that this route is called Wheatley Skip Skip, but the shot is Pancake.
What am I missing?
Also, Sushi getting his fly here
Because
catapult.
yeah, because the portal cuts onto an area that it shouldn't. That's the explanation. I still think it's as good of a name as Pancake Shot.
Just worth noting, by the way, in Turret Sabotage, the route isn't called Turret Skip, it's called Turretless.
Concentrated burst of science. Oh, on a related note,
So.
I am going to need you to solve these 10 times as fast.
I mean,
Anyway,
it's
get
basically
away
the same
before you
thing.
solve this one. I don't want to spoil the ending.
Turretless is better.
Remember when I told you that he was specifically designed to make bad decisions?
I don't care about. It conveys literally the same thing.
I care about it, though.
Turret
That's what
skip,
matters.
turretless. There's still a distinct removal of turrets in the situation.
So you see they're finishing up laser platform, and this is a lot of the time save in this map with Fly, is just flying over the funnel. And it's very easy to actually hit like 12 depth triggers there, but Sushi does avoid them all.
Yeah.
And enters prop catch.
Was self-destructing, already fixed. Programmed in one last tremor for all time's sake. Like 1 or 2 more tremors. Alright, still nothing, let's keep moving. Sorry about the lift, it's out of service, because it melted.
This is a fun, basic map.
Yep. Yeah, Sushi gets Fly, and then flies to the end. Worth noting, you have to be slow enough that you can look at Peabody there, because if you don't, then you just soft lock. Or don't
The
soft
door-
yeah.
Door
The
doesn't
door's
open.
And he's also waiting here for that wall to stop moving so he can shoot the funnel to activate the end dialogue. Should I change the audio back to Sushi, do you think?
I don't know. Up to you.
I'm gonna do it. I've been thinking about it, but now Sushi's like a map ahead RTA.
I think at this point it's kind of determined. There's a pretty big gap at this point.
Yeah. It would require Crimson to
The
get
times.
worst ending. Not just bad ending, but a worst ending.
Sorry, my fault.
He's gonna get this is the last map of chapter 8, so he's gonna get this fly that he's gonna preserve throughout the rest of the run until the very last map.
Oh, it's tiring.
So, he's inexplicably happy all of a sudden.
You're now on the last fly preserve of the run, and one of the oldest fly preserves of the run.
Yep.
Skipping pretty much all of the finales.
Making chapter 9
Yeah.
becomes a completely different game than it was supposed to be. Instead becomes how do you keep your speed, and how do you not go too fast to lose all your air control, and how do you get yourself low enough to keep going on the level.
So
The
funny.
thing I don't mention is that you can't control your vertical height directly because there's not a button for that. You're supposed to be flying, Instead, you have to use jumping and the level geometry to control your vertical height. So a lot of Chapter 9's routing is about finding easy places to slope down.
An interesting thing that I like to note about these maps is just when you look at what's done, it's kind of surprising just how well everything comes together in order
Yeah.
to allow you to do this. Like there are plenty of things that could have been changed that could probably make this impossible,
Yeah, like right
or at least
here.
way less convenient than it is.
Right here,
Like this, for
this
example.
right it just perfectly slopes you down to the right angle to lay it onto this railing.
Like you'd still be able to do it if it wasn't there, but it would be much less convenient than it is.
Yeah. It works out pretty well. Something to note here is that both players are going to try to actively avoid hitting doors as they're moving, because they're dynamic props, and if you hit a dynamic prop while they're moving, then you're going to get what's called slow fly.
I do feel like it's not that simple. Like you can hit walls, as far as I know.
Yeah,
sometimes
it's the dynamic ones. That's the moving doors that always do it. So she gets the worst angle down.
I've had worse. Let's be real.
Yeah, no, that was pretty. That was actually not as bad as it looked.
Doing this.
This is turret skip.
Is he gonna try to sleep the turret? Nope, he's gonna go
Nope.
for it.
You go for it.
Gets
And
first
does not
try.
die. Pretty easy for a gamer like Msushi 100.
Pretty hard for everyone else. Although it's not that bad.
Gives him flying through a solid object there. That's what we call no clip.
Finale 3, probably the easiest map of the funnel fly maps.
Yeah,
It's a little bit hard to maneuver, truly, but
this little section's a little weird, but then once you
nothing
get to here,
difficult.
it's all free, and then you just fly next to the funnel because your fly speed's significantly faster than that of the in-game funnel.
Yeah.
So she just strafing like a madman.
Insane.
He does touch the funnel to lose his fly. He's gonna enter Finale 4. Unfortunately, they're playing 2 days before we find Finale 4 skip. So, you still have to do the map.
Very presumptuous that you think it's gonna go anywhere.
2 days. Watch. Mark my words. Actually, don't, because I'm probably wrong, but you know.
No.
While we're waiting for this cutscene to start, looking here at the bracket, this is obviously winners finals. The winner of this goes on into grand finals. However, the loser of this goes down to losers finals to play the winner of Can't Even and the winner of Zaipe and Goldust. So they're gonna play Can't Even, essentially.
The entire building is going to self-destruct in about 6 minutes. I'm pretty sure it's a problem with the light. I think the light's on the blink, but just in case it isn't,
But
I'm actually going to have to kill you.
Before that,
That's disgusting.
we have to make sure the Crimson doesn't get worst ending and fail Finale 4 horribly.
I really doubt that it's a minute that we're talking about here, and we have quick saves.
You could decide to go walk his dog really quickly in the middle of the run.
Also, Crimson is 5 seconds behind his PB. As it
Behind
currently
PB.
stands. If Zaipe is correct that he lost
That's 10 seconds. Yeah, he could definitely get a minuscule PB here. So Sushi's gonna, obviously have the bombs hit the white gel, as is the route, as is the intended solution for this game. Then he's going to set up a specific spot so he can juggle the bombs, because Wheatley throws, how many, 4 bombs a cycle? Or is it 3?
Doesn't he throw 5?
Is there 5? I don't know.
I don't actually count.
1, 2, 3, I don't know. He throws bombs.
I'd say 4 to be safe.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's not 3.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's not 3. I knew that, actually, the more I think about it. But he throws bombs, and Sushi juggles them.
System compromised.
Although, Sushi lost 1.
Reactor explosion in 4 minutes.
That's funny.
What happened?
I mean,
And that was
goodness.
unfortunate. He got a very bad cycle there.
still save time, I guess.
Still some time over intended, but just barely. That's very sus bomb juggle.
75%. Reactor
And it's
explosion
not even like
patterns
there's not
are
much
destroyed.
you could really do
Reactor
as a human
explosions
to make
under
that
the
not
emergency
happen.
preemption protocol initiated.
All right, I'm looking at his
Facility will self-destruct
time.
in 2 minutes.
Crimson actually only lost 1 second over his gold.
So it needs to gold by 4 seconds of finale 4 in a map that's essentially a cutscene for the most part.
If he double, I think Zype just said that because he didn't get double bomb preserve.
It's
Right,
possible.
yes.
Warning. Core corruption at 100%. Manual core
Which I guess
replacement
he's
required.
on pace to do now.
I see.
So I believe we're going to be seeing what was known as a yeet from Sushi. There we go. Pretty.
Oh,
happy
because
yeet.
Crimson told you. Interesting.
What do you think?
Interpreting vague answer as yes.
No.
Either Crimson is incorrect or doesn't have a gold that, or knows he can beat his gold easily.
Detected in the stalemate resolution annex. Extinguishing.
I like how that's the first thought.
Sushi is going to place
Sushi's about to finish.
his
Looks like it's
there.
going to be a 102.
He's gonna go what we call V skip, and by we I mean I'm the only one who calls it that.
Ooh! He just
Nicely
barely
done.
got sub 102.
101.58. Not a PB, but within 12 no, not 12 seconds. Within 17 seconds that was PB.
Man, these times really got easy with the shot, huh?
It does help.
Let go! We're in
Sushi did not win. Sushi lost.
Let go!
Unless
No, Sushi
he
lost.
loses a minute
It would
in-
take.
on the
I
moon
think-
shot.
I think I hope Crimson would know to just shoot the moon normally. If he misses it.
Well,
But also let me mark Sushi done.
okay, I don't think he's PBing.
Well, that would have been good to know.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
Stalemate
pretty
resolution
close.
assist. Please press the stalemate resolution button.
Do not part.
100.50.
Part five.
Ooh. Really good. 4 seconds. As we mentioned before. So basically his gold.
Space!
Good race. I believe it's the only race where both runners got sub 102. It's not really fair to say because of the time. But
Yes, it is the only race because there have been.
Pull myself in.
Um,
Still fix this.
This is also, by the way, officially the fastest race of the tournament
Not coming back.
from Crimson.
yeah.
Hold on to me.
By because the previous fastest was 101.36.
Why did it? Feels like everything just got easier because that's not just from Pancake Shot.
It's because you are also at the end of the tournament with like the best players left.
Yeah.
Sushi's sitting in the VC and will not join our channel because he doesn't like us.
Aw. Okay.
Is that Msushi 100?
No.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good. How are you doing after that run?
I'm okay.
It was pretty solid. 101.58 is definitely a respectable time.
I mean, I feel like the more I play this game, the more I realize how easy these good times are to get.
Yeah, Fat was just talking about that.
Yeah. I mean, to be
Yes, that
fair,
was-
the free 30-second time save.
That was the
But-
fourth fastest run of the tournament overall.
Bruh.
And it definitely did not feel like it should have been, just looking at like the mistakes that were made.
Yeah.
I
and
mean, like,
Crimson.
I had a
Jerry
really
skip.
bad early game, and I got really tilted after losing 30 seconds to Jerry skip.
Mhm.
I don't even
That's
know
what
how
I'm
I lost. I don't know how I lost 15 seconds in ceiling button, but you know, in
could not
another
grab that
That
world,
was
cube.
funny.
in another world, literally one of those many imperfections don't happen that run PBs, which is a big question mark for me.
Yeah,
But regarding the race,
because
Crimson played really well.
Yeah.
I mean, while I wouldn't put it out of myself because I'm an overachiever, I wouldn't say I couldn't beat that time, but I'm not beating that time in the race. I think I'm more than capable of a player, but I'm just not in a state where I can get a 100 in a no reset run. So, of course, props to him.
would require
Crimp.
quite a run.
Thinking,
Not Crimp, yes. The legendary Crimp.
can he? I mean, no, Crimson. I didn't think about it until just now. He got race world record in this race. There's never any race that was as fast
It's a very
as this
specific
one.
world record, but yes, you're right.
Race percent.
Race percent.
Also, I just want to make an
10052.
announcement that I took a pre-calculus exam this morning, and I got a 94 on that, and I got that midway through chapter 8, so I'm feeling pretty hot.
I need to tell you this thing after, by the way, Sushi.
Okay.
Epic.
But yeah, that was pretty solid. Like, he made there's quite a few mistakes, but like other than those major mistakes, most of the runs just solid gameplay. There's just a few big things, and also I don't remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna make fun of you for something. Oh, what Maker Junior?
That's a good strat. No, I'm so consistent at it, though. I guarantee that I am more
Nah.
consistent at Wetmaker Junior than any player is at actual Wetmaker.
It's not really fair. You're giving yourself a crutch, so
I mean, exactly, but the idea, like, on average, I will have a better
I
laser.
can run
than the majority
faster
of
than
players
any
who do
crippled
laser
person.
overdue. Shut up.
you're getting told you're wrong in chat by Can't Even and Bets Runner, who are both people who would give you a run for your money.
Let me tell you, I've seen. I don't know about bets. I don't watch bets too much, but I know Can't Even has failed Wetmaker on multiple occasions. The last time I failed Wetmaker Junior was probably 2004.
Dang,
I
you
was
weren't even born
there.
yet.
Yeah, I was there.
Bailey
he
is
did
my
fail in
reputable
2004.
eyewitness that'll get me verified on the
Reputable
ad tag board.
eyewitness.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna do app tag on a GDQ to get it verified by reputable eyewitness? I think
Okay.
that's the play.
Can't
And
Even, do
that's-
you want to get AvTag world record at SGDQ?
I think that's the optimal play. But yeah, anything you want to say before I end the stream? Mercy kill it.
GG's to Crimson. I'll be
Crims.
happy to reface him in the finals, preferably in Celeste, but Portal 2 can do as well.
Wait, I don't think
But,
you can jump him into Celeste.
What? No. That's gonna
Actually,
be me
that's-
versus Can't Even in the loser bracket. I'm gonna be
Actually-
doing Celeste all red berries, and he's gonna be doing any percent, and we're just gonna duke it out. But
What's happening now?
looking forward to that.
Wait, you're doing A or B? Actually, yeah, that's almost fair.
Also, like, I'm third in this tournament, right? Even if I were to lose my next match.
Yes, you're guaranteed third.
Damn, y'all suck.
You were also second seed going into this.
Damn, I suck.
So you're playing below your seed if you lose to Can't Even. Or Zaipe or Gold Dust, I guess.
Well, it was
But
fun,
the
of course.
The
GG's. Thank you
important
guys for
thing
commentating.
is, I think this hacks up my predictions, and I might not be first anymore. Which is more important, because I've been first the entire tournament.
Hold on, I'm on the site. Let's research this.
Yeah,
We're in an interesting position.
I'm
Wonder-
ninth now. I was first until today, now I'm ninth. Until yesterday, or last
What am
race.
I at? 25th, solid. It's because I put me versus Wilbo as the final race.
Yeah, I
Bruh.
know.
Yeah, but now we're on the. We're reaching the final stretch. There's only 4 races left to have done in the tournament. Pretty high.
Yep. It's very exciting. So check out links Alex just got posted in the chat, and also check out Speed Gaming. Speed Gaming does a lot of awesome races. Like they're doing Link to the Past randomizer at 2 p.m. Eastern. There's Star Wars Episode 1 coming up. There's some good things today. It is a Monday, so it makes sense. It's not too much, but Speed Gaming is awesome. Thanks to them. Thanks to both runners. Thanks to Fat for joining me last second after just waking up.
Thanks to
no
you,
problem.
Bailey.
Aw,
Yeah.
thank you, Matt. And that's it. Episode finished.